Very good morning. In this session, I am going to discuss in detail about change file permission in Linux. I am Dr. Srithar, Associate Professor, Department of Experiential Learning, Yale University. So let us move into the file permission in Linux. So if you are working with any Linux environment, if I want to list the files and folder, we will use the command called ls to list all the files and folder. The meaning for this LL is it will display the detailed list. Detailed list means this is the example. So after keeping LL command, it will list all the files and folder with detailed information. Detailed information means it will display file name, at what time the file gets modified, and who is the owner of this file, and which group it belongs to. Everything it will display. In addition to that, it will display some 10 digits, whereas the first digit indicates whether the particular file whether it is a directory or a file. If it is a file, then the dash sign will be present. So let us see the meaning for the second, third and fourth digit. So that is here RW dash. Meaning for this RW dash is that it is the permission for the user. User means here root only user. Then next to R dash dash indicates that it is the permission for the group. And the last R dash dash indicates that it is the permission for the other users. Other users mean the member which is not part of the group as well as the user. Those members called as other user. For this example, other users have only read permission. So let us see the syntax of the command. If you want to change the file permission, the command is that chmod, then mention the file permission followed by the file name. Actually, the file permission can be represented in two ways. One is you can directly mention the file permission with the access modes. Access modes mean U for user, G for group, O for other users, A for all the users. Okay, let's see the example of these access modes. So for example, if I want to provide all access to the user, so what you can use is chmod followed by U for the user, U plus RWX, which means that you are providing read, write, execute permission for the user for the file1.txt. Let's go into the next example. If I am using G plus WX, which means that you are providing write and execute permission for the group. If it is the next example is, if I am keeping it as it is not X, it is actually O for the other user. There is a typo mistake. It is actually O plus RX, which mean it is the other user permission as file1.txt. Okay. So for example, similarly, if you want to remove any permission, for example, A minus RW, which means that A means all, for all the users like user, then group and other users. I am going to remove read and write permission, which means that all the files have only execute permission. All the other permissions we are removing it. So this is one way. Alternate way is that binary to decimal value representation. So for example, for these decimal value start from 0 to 7, there is a binary values represented. Start from 0 means 0 0 0. Let's see, 7 means 1 1 1. If it is 0, there is no permission, which means dash dash dash. If it is 1, there is a permission exists. If it is the first character, first digit, then which means it is the read permission. Second digit indicate it is the write permission. third digit indicate it is the execute permission. For example, if I am keeping chmod 777 file 1.txt, which means that 7 means the binary representation for 7 is 111, which means that the user having all permission, group having all permission, and other user also having all permissions. Let us experiment these in a CentOS Linux environment. Just log into your user and go to this activities, take your Linux environment, zoom it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder, that is mkdir klu. So in this folder, there is cd klu. Just move into the folder, then create one file, touch file.txt, and now check it with the ll command. You can see that for this example, you please see that first there is a dash is there, which means that it is the representation of the file. Then rw dash indicate it is the permission for the user Sridhar. Then r dash dash indicate it is the permission for the group Sridhar. R dash dash, the last r dash indicate it is the permission for the other users. Okay, so let us let us try to change this file permission. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the permission first. Let's try to remove all the permission. For that chmod, if I want to remove all the permission, just please use A for all the users. Okay, minus I want to remove all the permission, read, write, and execute for the file.txt. Now enter and again try this ll command. You see that I removed all these permission. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I am going to provide the read, write, execute permission for the user. The command is chmod user. I'm going to provide the permission for the user. So the mode is u plus read, write, and execute, followed by file.txt. You see that for this file, for the user, read, write, and execute permission is now applicable. Let's see now ll command again. Can you see that rwx, which means that read, write permissions were added for the user Sridhar. Okay, so let us try for other users. Okay, again, for example, I need to provide only the read access for the other user. So what is the command? chmod other user for O plus R for read permission, file.txt. Keep ls command. Let's test it now. Can you able to see that? Now only read permission updated for the other users. So similarly, if you want to revoke any permission, let's say an example, I want to revoke this write permission or execute permission. I am going to revoke this write permission. Let's say an example, chmod for the user, I want to revoke the write permission for the file.txt. Let's see. Now keep ll command. Can you see that difference? Previously w is there, now w is removed. So this is how you can able to assign the file permission for the users, groups, as well as other users. Now I'll show you the binary to decimal value representation. Instead of doing all these things, as I already told, as per this binary to decimal value representation, you can able to use. For example, if I keep everything as 111, which means 777, then the policy applied is, that is the file permission applied is, that is all permission. Let's see chmod 777 file.txt. Now keep the command as ll can you see that all these permissions were changed? That is read, write, execute for the users, read, write, execute for the group, read, write, execute for the other users also. So that's it for the session. Happy learning. Thank you.